Man.
Well, as we try to move forward to do things how we know how to do them.
Oh man.
I mean,
it's hard to move
it's
forward.
sad. I mean, it's a sad thing for our city for things to get out of order. Like what happened at the council meeting,
Right.
it was already predetermined that there would be some.
And didn't we say that? I mean,
yeah.
Can we get out credit for saying
Well, we're not going to be validated until we keep going.
But everybody knew though, so I mean anybody
Right.
So it wasn't like something anybody didn't know. Everybody knew that was going to happen.
Right. Well, my thing is this: we got people being killed in our city and our surrounding counties.
Right.
We got kids graduating. We it's so many things that we need to be planning for the future, to the point where things that happen like when they openly disrespect each other. Senator Jordan and Mr. Ronnie Stevenson, my heart goes out to both of you all. Everybody involved, Doc Glenn, Councilwoman Doc Glenn, the
entire
mayor,
council,
the entire
leadership.
The entire leadership. We're not gonna do the same thing that's been going on the whole time. It's time for a change when it comes to people being able to compromise. We have to, if our people's eyes are open, they're seeing that there needs to be some sort of change that goes on.
Right. Something has to happen.
And a lot of times we need to take the initiative to seek advice from someone outside the box. I mean, evidently things are not working well.
Not working. The people who you're listening to, the people who you're getting your advice from,
Right.
obviously is not working. The plan you're doing is not working. There's too much discord.
Right.
How in the world, can a city run correctly when there's discord among the leadership, when there is contradictions among the leadership? I mean, who can you trust?
I think it was a setup myself. What I mean by setup, I think it was a group of people in there that already knew what was going to go on, and they pushed the right buttons, and they got the reaction that they wanted. They've been trying to stoke the racial fires around here for a long time.
Right.
For the past, since the last election, they've been trying to keep it, stoke everything up, get the people in an uproar, and then we're talking about boycott, and I hear the word boycott, I hear the word strike, and you have to be together to do that. You have to be together before times of turmoil, before you will get people to put their jobs on the line or not shop in a certain place.
Right.
So I think we should get the people together before we can go forward, because you will never get anything done with the divide. And if you keep on doing things to stoke the divide, I just was watching TV a couple of years ago where our local government was on nationwide TV. And they all said that race relations in Greenwood was where it needs to be, and that it's overblown, that is not.
Well, that's on TV.
Well, it's on TV, but at the same time, that was our chance to if we had real
Right.
problems with leadership,
Right.
that was our chance to get some things out in the air.
Yeah.
But now we may, if this goes viral, we're once again we're gonna be.
And the
on
misconception
top of the news.
was, see, their focus was on white and black relations.
Right.
But see, the focus should have been on black and black relations.
Right.
The relation here between, and like I said, I hate to use color. That's why I always use low income, the neighborhood, or people of a certain social class. But in this case, these are people of esteem, people of higher social classes, and you still get this type of behavior. But what you have to look at, you have to look at everything. Of course, we understand that some people have agendas when they come into certain areas or come into certain, venues. But at the same time, the other side has to be all the way 100 too. It has to be right on both sides. Both sides are in the wrong. Right. This side said one thing and then did another one, and then this other side comes and, like you said, they did the things that would get the reaction that they wanted.
Right.
But see, it's cause and effect. You can't just look at this one isolated situation and point the blame and say, oh, well, here's the fault, here's the fault.
Right.
You have to move back. If things were done right from the beginning, if the right people were interviewed, given the chance, you wouldn't have this. But, it wasn't. So we have to move on from that.
Man,
we have to move on from that. So the thing that we need to recognize is that, hey, both sides are in the wrong, and this is what and this is what happened when you have all this stuff hidden and all this wrongdoing on both sides. Then it all comes about in front of the public in situations like this.
Man, it's sad that you sit up and you recognize your city and you have all these dreams and aspirations for where you want your city to go, and you see us, we slay each other in the public. Tavares Cross, Roger Waddell. I've seen heated debates between adults that have grown up here in Greenwood, and I've seen them slay people that come up and have the bravery to try to put themselves on a different platform, and I see how they do. And I don't plan on running for anything here in the Mississippi Delta, but I do plan on doing my part to improve the Mississippi Delta through my efforts and from my, like I say, from where I stand and the people I can reach. I want them to know is the people that we're listening to, they have made their livings. They have made their livings, and I want my young people to be able to do the same thing. And we need to get rid of this discord and all this. It just seems like it's off the street. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You cannot sit back and just say this because you have suits on. You're educated. You're acting uneducated. Like I said, on both sides. I mean, we want to remind everybody, call in. If you want to call in,
2401.
Yep. Give your opinion, give your thoughts. Real Conversation with Sean, brought to you by Main Street Chevron, right at 800 Main Street. Go by and get your 18-pack beers for $12.99. They also have the 2 for $9 T-shirts. Also by Healthy Living Mississippi, a 6 to 8 week initiative here put forth by Dr. Adrian Hicks to fight obesity. Give her a call at 662-374-6414. It's amazing,
Every time something like this happens, it sets us back.
It does.
It sets us back. I look in the newspaper and I see the headlines, and it's a diverse array of headlines here. You got Mississippi Hero in the front, Delta Streets. You got the council and their heated debate at the top. And also you have 2 held in the It'll Be the Slaying. And you also have a new director, African American, coming to head up the CVB. Okay? So, and our jobless rate falls, 10.9%.
We got a lot of problems.
And a senior, a valedictorian from George says, never give up. Now, you take all those things, because I think like that. I think outside the box. I take things and I look at them and I come from my own perspective and I say, what can I get out of this to make it good? And the only thing we can make good out of what we have going on is people. Get out there and let's try to not to do the things that make us the excuse. Because we've been the excuse. We're the problem. But I think we're the solution. And we're not being validated. We're not being, we don't, education is thrown out there. And I think that word education, they've been using it a lot lately.
It's overplayed.
They're using it a lot lately.
But because people hide behind it.
I don't know what the qualifications, I don't know what degrees our Chief Purnell held. I don't know what degrees our Chief Langdon held. And I didn't know Chief Moore didn't have a degree or a high school diploma.
I mean, he has a GED.
He had his GED, which is sometimes in some cases harder to attain than a high school diploma because you have to, cram it all in. But at least he acted civil during that whole thing. And he was gracious enough to say thank you. And that he said, out of his mouth, he said, the people that don't believe in me, I'm going to work hard to gain you all's trust.
Yeah. Well, it's going to remain to be seen. And if the same type of things occur, the same type of problems, then, hey, hey, the chief needs to be held accountable. Say, hey, these type of things need to be done different. What are you going to do different as the new chief? Now that you're there, what steps are you going to take? You know, you can't just do the same song and dance as everyone else. Well, I mean, then again, you probably can, because, you know, who's really going to hold you accountable for it?
Right.
But you're not supposed to be able to. Him as a new person, he's not supposed to be able to do the same song and dance. The crime rates should go down. Under new leadership, new things should happen. You should see, you know, there should be something shown.
Amount of change.
I mean, anytime you're putting forth work, you should be able to, you know, to see fruits. But, you know, just going back to conducting yourselves and how to behave yourselves, you know, just another example of how the situation could have went with Mr. Stevenson. You know, anytime you get emotions involved in anything, you have outbursts in situations like this. This was this was a touchy subject, you know, and we don't really know the motive behind this touchy subject.
Right.
It could have been a touchy subject because people really care about the town and the situation, or it could have been a touchy subject because people are in it for their own interests. But again, just sitting back looking at it, is so much wrongdoing that took place before today that could have been nipped in the bud if it had been fixed at first, but it wasn't.
It's already, you know, it's already apparent that there's bad blood throughout our leadership. Every appointment that's been made, there's been great efforts to tear it down, from our schools to our police department, and pretty soon it's going to spill over into the streets. And my thing is this: our people deserve better than that. If we're going to be held accountable, if me and Jelani are going to be held accountable for what we do and what we say, if we're going to be judged for what we have or what we don't have, or the education or the lack thereof, I think that the people that have that should be held accountable for it. At the same time, our heads don't screw on. I know that, you know, I've seen a couple of setups in those city council meetings, and I'm smart enough to sit back and look. And I'm just going by how the language that they have. That lady, or you know, you know,
but it happens on both sides.
Yeah, they talk about each other.
I mean, it happens on both sides.
Right.
The other side have their setups where they set that side up too. I mean, it happens all the time, and that in all is what needs to stop. I mean, it just needs to stop. I mean, because on some issues, I can sit back and I can agree with this side that says, hey, yeah, I do want to question that selection. Because that selection does seem mighty, you know, familiar. But, of course, again, that same side was also doing the same type of selecting when they were in power. So, again, it all just goes back to things like nepotism. You know, I believe that some of the selections are very questionable, you know, because there were a variety of people and things to choose from. And, you know, again, when things are not forthcoming up front, when there are changes and, you know, like I said, contradictions in leadership and in words and what was said and what not was said, you get a mistrust, and that just leads back to the root of this. And that is the root of the problem, is that it wasn't done right from either side, and both sides just need to come to an agreement and say, hey, we want to admit our faults. We were wrong in this. You were wrong in that. You know, we need to move on for the betterment of the people, because obviously it's not. It cannot be for the betterment of the people if so much is going on. Real Conversations with Sean, brought to you by Main Street Chevron, right here in Greenwood. Go by, get your 18-pack beers for $12.99. Also get your 2 for $9 T-shirts. Also buy Healthy Living Mississippi, which is a 6 to 8 week initiative here in the Mississippi Delta put forth to fight obesity. Call Dr. Adrian Hicks at 662-374-6414. She's going to get you out, get you running a personalized diet so you can eat healthy, and we can fight obesity here.
Rumors and innuendos have no place in local government. They said, he said, she said has no place in local government. Those are street things. And after all this, they're all going to go to church on Sunday. Everybody's going to praise the Lord. The people are going to be stoked up. Everybody's going to be looking for people to take the podium and bash a person one way or the other. We don't want that to happen, but we know there's an eventually there's going to be a town hall meeting now. We've been wanting to have a town hall meeting for years. We've been wanting to have debates for years, but now we're getting our debate. We're not getting it in a intelligent form, but we're getting we're getting in debates now.
And is it going to bring forth anything? I mean, it
never changes.
I mean, because even if we do have a town hall meeting, I guarantee you the same things are going to be said that's been said for a million years, and we've been saying these things forever, and things have constantly been declining. I mean, we can talk all day, and we can repeat the same idioms and the same sayings about what needs to happen and this needs to happen. It just needs to get done. We need to stop hiding behind these things. Like you said, education. Everybody's hiding behind this education.
Because they know their limits.
They're hiding behind this. Let me tell you something. Some of the most richest and most successful people in the world did not go to college. Bill Gates, Oprah, Steve Jobs. Look at the statistics. People do not be fooled. College is good and great for some people, but not for everybody. And just because you did not graduate from college does not mean that you're less educated than anyone else. Because I'm going to tell you something about being educated. You lose common sense. And you can never outsmart common sense. I don't care how smart you are, how many degrees you have. You can never outsmart common sense. I didn't graduate college. I dropped out of high school. But I guarantee you, any college major, any college graduate or whoever, you put them beside me in the room, they'll never know it.
But people have forgotten.
They'll think I was a genius.
They forgot their past. We got people who
being educated can make you a fool. So be careful.
We got people.
You can have just as many educated fools as uneducated fools.
We got people who have padded their stats, who have said they've done this and done that, and I'm growing up watching.
Right.
I'm growing up looking at the progress we've made, and I knew in my mind.
You mean the degress?
Well, the lack of progress.
Right.
But I think that people coming out and getting us another different array of candidates. We need to have another form that validates candidates besides the two forms that we have or the one form that we have that says you need to vote for this person.
Yeah.
Right. So my thing, and I've seen, I've been involved with the chamber, and I never sensed any sort of degradation or they didn't respect what my point of view was. I've talked to Alan Hammonds. I've been able to have a conversation and then have a different, I can be in disagreements with you.
Right.
And I'm educated and I have common sense enough to know that I'm not gonna act like you expect me to act. And I want my people out there in the public to know, let's show them our real face. We are good people. We don't have as much going on in other cities as our same size as we have now. We got just the same amount of bad things going on in high places as we do in low places.
That's right.
And you can't judge. You can't judge.
And this is
Sean.
Evidence of it.
You can't judge Sean, and because his name. Because like I said, my name is Tion. It means to shoo, go away.
Right.
So whoever named me, they gave me the right name, and my name, I love my name.
That's right. But that shows in situations like this, when you have things that pour out on a consistent basis. This is something that happens all the time. It's a reason why there's so much animosity there, and it's not just to one side.
You're holding my kids up. You're holding the young people up.
That's right.
You're holding the young people up.
It's holding everyone up.
Aside. Put our personal differences aside. Let's think about the future. That Greenwood LaFleur Hospital was a debate at one time.
Right.
That place provides us with citizens. That's where they're born. I'm heated right now. Just thinking about how we got our heroes over there in Afghanistan or in the armed forces that are not getting the proper health care. We got all this going on.
Even people here.
People
local here.
We got homeless.
That need it.
We have a mental illness problem here and we're not recognizing it. We have
poverty.
We have poverty.
It's so much going on.
And you got everybody trying to keep up with the Joneses. They would do whatever they can to stay in relevancy of having their name called.
You want to go to war over who the police chief is, as if it's going to change anything. I don't think anything's going to change. I mean, of course, I would agree and say that everybody didn't get a fair shot to become the police chief, right. But all in all, whoever would have became the police chief, I can guarantee you that the crime statistics were going to stay the same. Everything was going to everything that's going on, the shootings, the violence, everything was still going to be here, no matter who the police chief was, because the right problem is not being taken care of.
While we was trying to get our city school superintendent kicked out, while we suing the governor of Mississippi for, taking over our schools, this was going to happen. We take our eyes off one thing and then
something else slip up on you.
That's
something else slip up on
you. That's
you.
because we need to delegate more responsibility across the board.
Somebody once told me, you can't fight every fight. You got to pick your fight, because while you over here fighting this fight, it's another one over here.
Right.
And so how you going to win this fight, and you got to delegate some of your men over here? You got to pick your fights, and you got to stick, and you got to be careful the fights you pick, because people could be baiting you into a fight.
That's right.
Which is what seems like happened right here. They got baited into a fight. Got focused on this fight over here and forgot about this one.
We smart too.
And also, because the other side was not as forthcoming as they should have been on all levels, saying that, these people wouldn't get a chance, and then this one got a chance for saying that we weren't worried about it, and then it pops up like this. But that's your fault, because you're focused on what's going on over here, because it seems as if you got baited into a fight and they can't beat you on the other end.
And our two African Americans, we had two African American chiefs. One retired, one quit. Okay. What we want? What do we want? What do we want? We don't question why they quit. We don't question the abruptness of their and how they did it. There's a kind of negative connotation between all of them, with our department heads going at each other's throat like that. And if we want to change in leadership, we got to go to the polls. And you can't bait a man talking at them. You can't bait a man telling them to pull their pants up. You can't bait a man telling them they on welfare.
Yep.
You can't talk. You can't get me to come to the polls and you talking down to me.
Yeah.
You can't talk down and then you throw education up. That eliminates a lot of people from the spectrum.
Because I'm not educated.
That eliminates.
I'm not educated.
Right.
So automatically, right there, you have discluded me, or I'm not now included.
Mr. Collins was just touted for running. He ran a whole campaign on I didn't graduate high school and I made $1 million here in the Mississippi Delta. Now, that was acceptable, but now it's to the point that everything has to be, you have to go to Harvard.
Right.
But I don't have to go to Harvard to know that the streets of Greenwood need better leadership.
That's right. Real Conversation with Sean, brought to you by Main Street Chevron right here in Greenwood. Go by and get your 2 for $9 t-shirts. They also have the 18-pack beers for $12.99. Also by Healthy Living Mississippi, which is a 6 to 8 week initiative here in the Delta put forth by Dr. Adrian Hicks to fight obesity. Give her a call at 662-374-6414. A lot of people always talk about Jackson and Atlanta, and about how the black leadership there is the majority, black mayors and black this and black that, and how those cities are prospering. Not only do they have black leadership, but it is prospering.
They're not jealous.
It's not going the other way. But see, what people have to understand is that in those cities, it's so much more there, and there's so many more people that a few people cannot get a conglomerate on everything and lock it down and keep it for themselves.
And they've been using that around here. They've been using that need
because it's so big. And also, the leadership does things. People have to vote these elected officials in. So obviously, if it's been a black mayor in this city or this town, or black this, black that for so long, obviously the leadership is doing something. It's the same type of people. The same type of uneducated people you talk about, folks that stay on the corner, the same type of people in Atlanta, Georgia, everywhere, the same type of people, the same voters. So why is it that they can keep black leadership in, but we can't? Obviously because the leadership is not doing what they're supposed to be doing. If you were, then you would be in office. You cannot keep blaming people.
I want to know, when Johnny Jennings first said,
"Man, that was
balls in y'all's
dude,
court."
That was, that is
so
profound. That's profound.
And I'm like, why is he able to do that and say that about us?
Because it's the truth.
Well,
it's the truth. The man did not lie. The man did not lie. It's the most profound thing that I have heard said out of somebody's mouth in so long. It's our fault. It's our fault. That man said, "I'm taking my children to a recital to this. My children are worried about where the next big car coming from."
Or the crack cocaine.
But he was telling the truth.
Well,
is he lying?
Well,
Is he lying?
I didn't like that.
Well, you can't help. Right, because it hurt. Like because it's the truth.
Because everybody he doesn't
not everybody, but he's speaking on a general basis, and that is the majority. You can't deny that. That is the majority of our young black people, of our generation, of our people. The majority of us are not concerned with the things we need to be concerned with. So that's a true statement.
Listen, Who put out the big cars in front of them?
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
I'm not debating with you.
Right,
We're going to be having an intelligent conversation. My thing is, how can you drive your riches around the poor like that? Whenever you put your riches in the poor's face, I don't think that's right.
But what he's saying is that your own people doing it. Your own people putting your riches in your face and you still right. So that's why I said he has every right to say what he says because he's like, hey, yeah, I can do it as a white man, but your own brother doing it to you.
Right.
Your own person doing it to you.
Right.
Why you know?
The ball's in y'all's court.
The ball is in your court.
If this thing failed, it's on y'all.
It's on us. It's on us.
Hey.
I mean, in this point blank, since we took control in the mid '80s with them suing the state and suing the city, getting the type of government we have from the 2 commissioner to the mayor, council, form of government to getting Mike SPN to getting all this black leadership in. We've been in for about 30, 40 years now. I mean not 30, 40. We've been in for about 30 years now.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? It's been a decline, and you can't keep blaming the people across the river,
right?
Because they sitting back chilling. You didn't see Lisa Cookston and Johnny Jen. You don't never see Phil Wolf at the meetings. You don't see these people jumping these conversations. They just sit back and look. They just sit back and look like, look at these people. Look at how they treat each other.
Right.
And it's wrong on both sides because, like people say, this person on this side done sold out for their position, and this person on this side selling out for the people that they want. Everybody's selling out, but for the wrong reason. Right. You need to sell out for the people. Do something for the people.
I would like to think that anything that I'm put in charge of, I would like to. I won't accept anything that I don't have an authority on. When it comes to working with young people, hey, I think it's the right choice. If I was a choice.
That's right.
I wouldn't think that, and it goes. I was put my resume up against against anybody else's. They say you have to have a track record in the community. I think we both have one, and I think we have some intelligent perspectives. And I also think that some more people should be given a chance to offer their perspective.
It's plenty.
And let's get that divisive thing. They've made a great effort to make this divide thing and ruffle a lot of feathers. But we're going to have to be intelligent about it because we are already injured.
Right.
So if we're already injured as a people, we can ill afford any catastrophes. So my thing is this. If we're going to come together behind this, I would love to see the effort. Are we going to pray again? Are we going to come together with the churches and the preachers and all the people again? Are we going to get common everyday people that can change the world's problems?
Somebody who can actually affect and actually get in and make a change. What you've been doing has not been working. It is time to stop it. Your agendas and your propaganda has got the city to where it is right now, and it is in a devastated place.
And my kids need you all to pay attention to
and everybody else is hurting. Like you said,
Mississippi Valley State going to hurt behind.
It angers me too that everybody else there's so many other problems, but we putting all this energy over into this problem. It hurts.
While we were watching the Mr. Percy Powell's trial,
there you go.
While we were trying
4-2 fake out.
While we were getting the
4-2 fake out
screen, this was happening.
They pulled the 4-2 fake out on you.
And they've been doing it for a long time.
And then I'm talking about, and boom, just boom like this. Here you go, boom.
Mm-hmm. So
right here on the plate.
Hey, I can't do nothing but
all we can do is just
try to do what I know is best. From the way I was raised, and that's helped most people, and the masses need us. The masses need good leadership, and I'll be glad when things get better.
We want to thank everybody for listening. We'll remind you to go by and support all our sponsors. Call Dr. Adrian Hicks for your weight loss plan, for your workout plan. She's going to get you slim and fit for the summer. Go by Main Street Chevron. Get your 18-pack beers for $12.99, 2 for $9 T-shirts. We love everybody. Hold your people accountable. The new chief,
we're going
hold
to
them accountable.
Mississippi Delta C5, we're going to see him. We'll be able to tell you whether he's ready or not.
Get in touch with us.
We're going to put our plan in front of him, and I'll be able to come back on the radio and tell you how it went.
And they'll let you know if he's serious or not.
Hey, let's hold him to the fire. We'll be doing it pretty soon.
He's the chief now. Let's make him do his job.
We can't make him, but we can hold him accountable. And with our platform,
that's right.
You got to have something on paper, and you got to have a vision and a purpose.
We love y'all. Thank y'all for listening.
Conversation.
And we out.